I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Welcome all into all to the fucking do a can. Gonna be bright
sunshine. We
podcasting day.
We should. I should have prepared. We needed to start this cast. We are recording on Austin 316. We needed to start this off with a glass break. Brandon, do you have any glass around you that you can just shatter on mic?
Fuck, hang on. No, I have some plastic I can crinkle. Hang on. Bum 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 bum.
Wow!
Oh hell yeah! Talking about Hershey dog, an Uber. Jamie Noguchi, you can make life-changing money with Uber.
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 How did you celebrate your Austin 316, Brandon Chalmers?
I recovered from my long weekend and went to work. I had pizza.
Nice. Did you run a cement truck over to your boss's car and dump cement in it?
No, that's the sort of thing you get fired for these days. It's a different world, Jamie. I did not pull the Steve Weiser truck up to the side of the ring and rain hellfire down upon Mr. McMahon. No, I did not.
You didn't take your boss to the grocery store and then like brain him with the frozen pizza?
No, that was not a boss, by the way. That was Booker T.
I know it was Booker T, but like your
five-time championship co-worker that he decided to take to a grocery store and then do a price check on Jackass. By the way, kids, if you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, I want you to pause our podcast.
Oh, it's so good.
I want you to find a video machine and I want you to type in Stone Cold Grocery Store. I'm sure you'll find it.
Yeah.
It'll be the full segment, and it is a segment where I believe somewhere in Texas at the time, WWE was doing an event. I believe it was on Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And Booker T, who I believe was champion at the time, was running from Stone Cold Steve Austin because he didn't want to get attacked by Stone Cold. So he found himself in a grocery store. And what ended up happening is he's wandering around nervous and paranoid. And all of a sudden you hear over the PA speakers, and I am trying to do this from recollection, so we'll see how on I am. I'll have to go back and check tonight because it is the holiday. It'll be, attention shoppers, we're looking for a Jackass in aisle 4. And then you see Booker T looking around, realizing he's in the aisle that he's talking about, and then panicking and running, and Stone Cold coming out of nowhere, and then beating him with everything you can think of in the store humanly possible.
Oh, so
complete
good.
with Booker T throwing Stone Cold into the grocer's freezer aisle. Stone Cold working his way around the frozen section, coming over to the refrigeration section, walking through the refrigerated case with milk, taking a big glug, looking at Booker T and going, "Hey, Book, got milk?" And then hits him with half a gallon of milk.
The best part about the segment is Booker T sells every hit. Like,
oh my God.
Booker T is a salesman, top tier, taking every bump, just selling the shit out of it. When Austin hits him with a frozen pizza, just...
Oh, my God. The mustard. Literally, Booker T sells that mustard is painful.
You got great poupon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
so good.
It's a delight.
And I know some of you are like, wrestling's dumb, and you're not wrong. To be fair, you are not wrong at all.
Yeah.
But
I don't have the network. It's been a while since I've had the network, but do they have like a Stone Cold feature that just is a highlight reel of Stone Cold for like 8 hours?
I assume so.
Because
I assume so.
If they don't, they need to, and they need to promote it every 316 and just run it on loop the entire day.
I imagine, like, I got to check upstairs when we get done here to see what stuff is available for Stone Cold because it is the holiday.
Yeah.
I would imagine they have a special thing. Now, I have heard rumors that when WWE Network switches to Peacock, they will lose the ability, at least in the short term, to search by either match or wrestler.
Oh no!
So
no.
Yeah, like basically, my understanding is switching over all of the network's content to a different set of servers is a bit of a daunting task. So I think the idea is
little.
Right. So I think the idea is switch as much of the relevant content over, but I do believe they're going to start really editing things and cutting a lot of stuff out that is a little on the questionable side. I know. So you won't get to see things like Vince McMahon dropping the N-bomb or Brock Lesnar basically like fronting a mariachi band.
Yeah.
You know, all of those classic things. Mark Henry being the father of a hand. You know, those important moments that happened in wrestling.
I don't mind those never appearing again. I feel like the world knows.
Say that.
I feel like the world knows that Vince is a horrible person, but at the same time, some of those moments I feel like should be preserved for posterity, so we have evidence.
Brock Lesnar in a sombrero, not mockingly, like kind of running a mariachi band, but genuinely turning it into a celebration. Now it's meant as mockery at first, but boy howdy, I don't know if that guy was a ska fan going into it. I know he's got some Metallica tattoos.
Yeah.
But I feel like that dude gets fucking turned, like he set a fire. His soul, like this is what Gloria Estefan was talking about, where the rhythm's gonna get you. The second he gets the horn section around him, he lights up like a kid on Christmas who just got a fucking N64. Like,
oh my God.
That guy just goes ballistic and loves every second of it. And genuinely, like, if I had Jeff Bezos fuck you money, I'd send a mariachi band to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, where Brock Lesnar lives.
Saskatchewan.
And hire a videographer just to find out, one, if they make it out alive, two, what his genuine reaction is. Because I get it, the wrestlers are actors, but you can't fake that kind of joy.
Yeah, I feel like something like that, Lesnar showing up, he was like, I'll do the gig, whatever. This is going to be stupid. And then he's like,
right,
this shit is dope.
These guys are great.
Yeah.
Like, I start waving my hands, and all of a sudden the horns start, and I'm having a great time. Brock's in a huge fucking hat. Like, he's having a great time. It almost was to the point where you saw Eddie Guerrero come down to take him on, and he gives pause. Like, you know what? Maybe he's not wrong. He is a
I might not lie or cheat or steal this one. I might just
right. Like, you know what? We're good. Like, I'm supposed to give you a hard time about making a mockery and a stereotype of my culture. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, I got to be honest with you. You're embracing it way harder than anyone should.
Brock is getting down with it.
Right, yeah. Brock is here for it.
Do you have a favorite Stone Cold moment? I know the Attitude Era is peak Stone Cold with him versus McMahon, but like, do you have one that jumps out at you?
Yes, I do. So normally I would say the grocery store, but since you already covered that one, I would like to go to Stone Cold wearing a cowboy hat. I believe he put a cowboy hat on Vince McMahon, and then he put a tiny, like, kid's cowboy hat on Kurt Angle, and then proceeded to take a guitar with his tone-deaf ass and strum and do a sing-along and play Kumbaya. And him basically turning, at the time, what was a TV show that was more or less softcore porn and a Michael Bay movie, and turning it into the loudest, drunken-sounding sing-along you've ever heard for easily 6 minutes. Like, I think they go to a commercial break and they come back and he is still strumming. Like, just no hesitation. is kind of fucking comedy gold.
That's
like
awesome.
Stone Cold doesn't get the credit he deserves for the comedy bits that he did.
Yeah.
Because there's that, and also I would highly suggest search for Sheriff Steve Austin, because if I'm not mistaken, when he left and then came back as a general manager,
yeah,
and he was riding around on a 4-wheeler, he wore a tin star. Like
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember that shit. Yeah,
and he was like making matches, and it was like him and Eric Bischoff, but he basically like he kind of walked around the place and insisted that like I'm the law of Raw, and started arguing with everybody about it. And he's like, hey. Who's got the badge? Respect the authority, okay? I'm in charge.
Respect
this is what's going to happen. But it was just great because, like, you watch everyone try and hold it together and not fucking laugh. Because I swear, that's all he was doing was trying to fucking break everyone. Like, it's Stone Cold for easily 6 weeks for 3 hours a night trying to corpse everyone. Fucking everyone. And when a grown man shows up, and I swear, then this might just be my memory, but I swear he duct taped like one of those, like, you know, like the kid like ride along things where they've got like the horse, like the stuffed horse head on the stick,
and
they like pretend that they're riding the horse. I swear he broke the stick off, and just duct taped that thing to the front of a 4-wheeler, so this way he could call it his steed, and just was driving around. It's fucking great, like, yeah, just him like literally pulling up to like a random bit in the back where like a bunch of the female wrestlers are there, and him like get off the thing to go give the only guy there a hard time. It would like pause before he'd give this guy a hard time, be like, ma'am, now jackass, and would like just fucking great.
Oh my god, I forgot that shit is amazing.
Stone Cold's a 20. Like, he's genuinely a 20. By the way, if you want to find one of the best non-wrestling things, if you're like, I don't want to fucking watch wrestling, I believe Stone Cold did a thing where he tried drinks, like things like Cosmopolitans and stuff like that, and Appletinis, and he gets drunk on some really fun stuff and has a great time where like he's like having an appletini. He's like, swear to God, I didn't think this would be good. This is an appletini. This is a good ass drink. This is a good ass drink. And like him taking the little fucking shit out of the thing and then just housing it and just like being the weirdest. Like it almost feels like a drunken version of like a dad who's playing along with a tea party, who's like way too big. Like if you watch like if you found out like Lou Ferrigno, like the original OG Incredible Hulk, had a daughter, and you walked in and Lou is literally drinking like non-existent tea out of a little sippy cup with the thing up and his fucking big ass shoulders and everything else like that. But you're like, God damn it, that is a sweet guy doing something incredibly kind with his daughter. Stone Cold feels this way, only he's doing it with a bunch of like drunk early 20-somethings where there are clearly like just production assistants who have no business being anywhere near Stone Cold, being concerned about it, and him just going, go on, give me another drink, let's do this thing, and just insisting on it. And the more, but he never does the Stone Cold thing. He's very calm and very respectful and very kind and very thankful of just like, I would like another drink, please. This is very good. And just like, much so that you don't expect it.
That's
like,
awesome.
God. Yeah, Stone Cold's fucking great. Watch that. Watch him on Hot Ones. He's fucking great on Hot Ones. Like,
he seems like a nice dude to like. I'm sad we haven't run into him on the circuit because he seems like a dude that you would just actually want to have a beer with. And I don't drink beer, but I feel like he would respect that.
100%. Yeah. No,
here, have a root beer.
He's got enough sober friends that, like, between wrestling and everything else like that, he knows how to have a good time with everybody without drinking a beer.
Yeah.
But,
here, have a sarsaparilla.
Now, bear in mind, I'm sure somebody will start looking this up. Stone Cold is not without his skeletons.
Oh, yes.
I acknowledge that he is not without those skeletons. He has openly acknowledged that he's not without those skeletons.
Yeah.
So, please bear in mind, I have no business or interest apologizing for Stone Cold's previous behavior. He has no interest not apologizing. ignoring or playing down his previous behavior. He has owned it multiple times on camera without any second guess, and has really tried to turn his world around in that sense.
Yeah.
So is he without flaw? Absolutely not. I think no wrestler that we've really come across has been without flaw.
No, some of them are real bad.
Some of them are real bad. One of my favorites is one of the worst. So yeah. I get this.
Speaking of, like, you were talking about a four-wheeler.
Yes.
I know Taker is a piece of trash, but like, yeah. I'm kind of wondering why during the past 4 years he never brought back the American Badass, because that would be perfect for his politics, and it would definitely appeal to a certain set of.
I think because he is figuring out that he caught a lot of backlash, from my understanding, just by supporting and sending money to Donald Trump's campaign, because that became public.
Right. But I mean, just by hearing him off screen, like, that was not a surprise to anybody.
Right. But what I'm saying is he does that, and then he does his classic gimmick that a lot of people find very fun, and they can separate the art and the man. And then he does that weird, like, what the fuck is the name of that thing? Where it was like a service where you could pay Cameo.
Cameo.
Where he did the cameos for like some exorbitant amount. I swear it was like $14,000 a pop or something like that.
Shit.
Yeah, something fucking ridiculous. Shit. And hearing him look into the camera and address someone who would like to be known as All Elite Scooby-Doo, and then give him a wedding message. By the way, if you haven't seen this, you really should Google that. He has to stop himself from laughing halfway through. And I realized that I think there's a certain point where a man's politics and a man's purse are two very different things, and when they conflict with each other, you watch the first one just kind of start to disappear. And
if I was of the trolling mindset, I would pay that Cameo and have him just do like the most LGBTQ friendly everything, like trans lives matter, like promote all of that shit. Yeah,
but I have to believe that he managed to weed that out, and I assume there was probably some caveat. Like, I never looked into it when those went up.
Yeah,
but he did something like, it was some exorbitant amount of money, and there were a limited amount of spots. I swear it was like 10 of them or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And only a few of them made their way onto the internet, from my understanding. But I remember seeing that one and going, holy shit. Somebody with way too much money got
Mark.
got The Undertaker to say the words All Elite.
Yeah.
And
that was a troll. They clipped that. Clipped that.
100%. Yeah, like 100%. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't somebody from AEW just paying for it. One of the Young Bucks or Cody or somebody.
The Bucks doing it. That'd be great.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I don't have any camera news, but
that's fine.
We got a comment on YouTube about the audio for last week's episode, because what I did, I recorded it, immediately transcoded it, and threw it up online. I didn't process the audio at all, so the audio was apparently really low. So
it was real bad for me.
Yeah.
So I turned mine up a little bit.
Yeah.
To try and so what I did is I turned my gain down, so this way I don't blow the mic out.
Yeah.
And then turned my audio up a bit just to try and compensate. But yeah, the audio for me was very low. I apologize for that.
No,
guys.
That's my fault too, because normally I would process whatever we have and then try to equalize it. So I'm gonna do that with this one around, so it should be better. Still trying to work out the technical bugs of this bullshit. I am not a streamer, but I'm using streaming gear to set this shit up. I gotta talk to Megan, ask her how this fucking shit works, but she just solo cues it. So like I don't know how to do any of this fucking shit.
I don't know.
But I got the lights.
But yeah,
I got the lights set.
I would say you got the lights at least. So
yeah.
at the minimum, I'm gonna try and get my mic feed right, so at least it'll sound okay, even if the video isn't great. So I apologize.
I think it should be good.
I'm gonna take that one, Jamie. I got to be honest with you. I'm taking that one.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start us off.
Do it.
Speaking of wrestling, like our intro sounds like a wrestling intro. Like,
100%.
At some point, I want to do this in front of a live audience just so we could have a Titantron and like walk down the aisle and stuff.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I want that. I want that.
I don't care if no one's in the audience. I'll rent out a theater and like we'll just do it. It'll be so good. Brandon, hit me with the intro.
You know, Jamie, you have inspired me. And while it is Austin 316 Day, I do believe I will embody a different wrestler. So, if you will please. Finally, the Cocks have come back to the fucking Do-It-Cast, part of the Hard Knock Media podcasting network. Now, Jamie, let me ask you a question. Do you like pie?
March does have two very cool days, Pie Day and Austin 316 Day.
You're damn right it does. Yeah. But it doesn't matter what you like, Jamie, because here at the fucking Do-It-Cast, we are about the people. And the people's champion wants to remind one and all that you need to go check out the other podcasts on the Hard Knock Media podcasting network. Now, Jamie Noguchi, I know what you're thinking right now. Are you thinking, well, Jamie, what about you guys? Aren't you guys great? It doesn't matter what you like about us. It matters about the other podcasts. They're talking about things like Batman and Pearl Jam and all sorts of other things.
And the Snyder Cut.
What I'm talking about right now is something that starts with L so that it makes sense in the Hard Knock Media
Luchadors.
Yeah, that's it. Luchadors. Anyway, so yeah, we are one part of the Hard Knock Media podcasting network. You should absolutely check out the rest of the network since you found yourselves here among the people.
The people.
And we are the people's champion of podcasts.
With the millions
and millions and dozens of podcast listeners.
Oh my God, Brandon! Before we get into anything, you had an epic rant on Slack about, I don't know what you were trying to watch, but it sounded like you were trying to watch a Batman, Superman, Justice League something. Oh no!
Cut's apparently coming out on the 18th or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was the 18th. So all I see to pull the curtain back, Jamie Noguchi and I are still part of the Super Art Fights channels as friends. We hang out
the Slack
in the
channel.
Main areas.
Yeah.
We chit chat about movies and what have you. And they have a channel about movies. Great. That's awesome. Like movies and TV, things that we all like. Hey, did you hear the so-and-so? And it's usually a lot of buzz news and what have you, and we all throw around opinion from time to time, and it's to keep up with your friends about all the things that you're watching on the tube. So there was a review that came in. Speaking of the Hard Knock Media podcasting network, there is a review in already from our boss that he actually enjoyed the Snyder Cut.
First of all, how does Keith get that shit early? And also, how does he not share the love with his next door neighbors? We are down the street from the motherfucker.
First of all, you know how he gets that love. Dude's got that hookup. Secondly, You don't waste it on us. You know why? We're not worthy of that, Jamie. Because you know all we're going to do is contradict him.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I love the dude to death. He is a Batman stan. Like, he's into it.
Yeah.
So if we say a nary word and don't pay for it ourselves, and the studio finds out that he gave us fucking schmucks an advanced screening, shit, there goes his hookup. He's got to protect himself.
We can release it in our paid format.
Right. Sure. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Just what we need to do,
paywall.
Jamie.
We'll pay
Take an advanced copy of a movie that isn't released and then make money off of it. There's no way that'll be a problem at all for anyone. None at all.
All right. So what were you trying to watch?
So I thought that it was out already.
Right.
Because I saw reviews coming in. And one of them was like a review from somebody who, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to scroll like way the fuck up through where it is now. Because I think they have been like chit-chatting about all sorts of shit since then. Let me see if I can.
So many more movies, man.
I know. And you know what? Good. I'm glad there's a lot of other shit going on because you really shouldn't trust me with all this. Okay. So, Super Art Fight co-host with the Mo-host, Marty Day, put up a screen cap of a Twitter response or a Twitter screen cap of somebody who did a review on Rotten Tomatoes about it and rated it really well. Now, I don't want to out anyone or whatever it is, but I think we can say the company that they work for are We Live Entertainment. Now, the question that was posed is, did they lower the barrier for Rotten Tomatoes? And I got to be honest with you.
Kind of sounds like it.
Let me say this in no uncertain terms. The thoughts and views of the fucking Doercast are one and only responsible of your own Brandon Chalmers and possibly on occasion your own Jamie Noguchi, wherever he ends up actually sitting when this video is released. So I do not wish to defame anyone. I do not wish to throw Marty Day under the bus in any way, shape, or form.
Throw his ass under the bus.
Right. Now, judging by the name of that entertainment thing and him absolutely loving this, yes, they have lowered the bar.
Yeah.
The internet has given everyone a voice, and apparently that voice gets to rate the fucking tomato meter. Now, I will say that I don't really trust the tomato meter. Like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But I chime in a couple minutes later, and I was like, I'm off work today, just started the Snyder Cut. Assuming that the Snyder Cut was there. Now, I have HBO Max. Now, what I learned is that what I was watching was the Wheaton version, or I think it was whatever the ultimate edition is.
Yeah, you got the old one.
Now,
the old and busted one.
Now, you say that, but I have an issue right out of the gate because that movie, like when you start watching that, I had to put it on pause before I even got corrected that I was watching the wrong one because apparently Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays Thomas Wayne.
Yes,
and
yes.
I don't know if you have seen any of the commercials recently for Jimmy John's that star Everybody Loves Raymond brother Brad Garrett with a jaunty mustache where he looks like some sort of weird Italian mob boss.
Yeah. I think I have seen one of those.
Thomas Wayne. Okay, Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing Thomas Wayne looks just like Brad Garrett in these Jimmy John's commercials, and I literally paused the movie and Googled Brad Garrett Justice League to make sure that I wasn't wrong, and turns out I was very confused. And then very upset to learn that Brad Garrett did not play Thomas Wayne. And that they waste Jeffrey Dean Morgan on this.
Yeah.
Like, you had him there and you cast Ben Affleck as Batman. Like, if you're gonna give a Batman a gun, make it the fucking comedian. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
right from Jump Street, you were just like,
Well, right from Jump Street, I was like, I don't fucking remember this movie at all. Turns out I watched the OG version like forever ago. So then I correct everyone and I said, no, that's right. Then I tag you in it because I assume that you're going to want to talk about this Justice League bullshit and immediately tell you I'm not watching it. I have run out of fucks to give. For the record, I had 3 fucks. Shit, I didn't know this was a thing. Fuck, I'll watch it. There's your first one. Is that fucking Brad Garrett? There's your second one.
Right.
And then, this isn't even the right movie. Fuck this. Yes. There it is. Those are my 3. And then they're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Gone. They're
more. Totally gone.
No more.
Never to come back. Never to be fucked. I can't give those fucks anymore. They're gone. They're in the wind. Just flying away. They're gone.
I was in the no fucks given camp for a while. And then the Ray Fisher stuff came out about like how Joss Whedon acted on set and treated him and like his experience. And that made me kind of interested because of how hard he was going for, like, you know, Snyder supported every one of us. We loved working with him. He created a great atmosphere. This Joss guy comes in. It's fucking miserable. Fuck Joss Whedon. And I was like, because I've been on the fuck Joss Whedon train for a little bit. And Ray Fisher was just like, no, seriously, fuck Joss Whedon. And so that aspect of it made me think, well, maybe there's something to this, because I feel like Cyborg was shit changed in the version that we got. Like, he was almost written out of the movie. If he wasn't there, it wouldn't have made a difference. Like, that's how bad they did his character in the Whedon version. So that aspect is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's 4 hours of interesting, but that part of it to me is like, all right, well, maybe I don't know, if all of the actors are super excited to be working back with Zack Snyder, maybe there's something about this. I don't know if it's enough to hold my attention for 4 hours. I might put it on in the background while I'm working on pages, or I might not. But.
What Zack Snyder thing that you watched that you really enjoyed?
I'm
literally Googling Zack Snyder.
The opening credit scene of Watchmen. I loved that because it was because I thought it was going to be, hey, this is his interpretation of the material. We're going to go off script. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And then the rest of the movie was just kind of, it was really boring. Kinda. I thought 300 was fun, but I don't know much of Zack Snyder's stuff.
See, and this is what I'm saying. Like, I
might not like his style, so the story behind the movie is interesting, but like, I don't.
Right. So I'm checking Zack Snyder, and then I'm going to go to all filmography. I'm on IMDb right now for anyone who's following along. I'm going to go to director.
Okay.
Because this is what we're talking about, right?
Well, no, we're talking about something else.
No, but we're talking about him being a director.
Yeah. Him being a director. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we've got the Snyder cut of Justice League.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. We've got Batman versus Superman.
Did not like that.
Okay. Man of Steel.
Did not like that.
Sucker Punch.
Did not watch that.
Legend of the Guardians, Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Oh, I did watch that.
Which. Okay.
It was cute.
Okay, so Owls of Ga'Hoole so far, 1 win for Jamie Noguchi in the Zack Snyder.
From what I remember, it was cute. I didn't think too deeply on it, but yeah, it was cute. They had armor. The owls had armor.
Now, you have to like more than one part of the movie. This is like me saying I really like Full Metal Jacket, because I really think the first half is good.
Yeah.
And then the second half I think falls apart. Yeah. I can't be like, you have to fucking watch all of Full Metal Jacket. I'd be like, you can fucking watch the clips of Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
So therefore I'm going to disqualify your Watchmen.
Yeah, I would disqualify my Watchmen too. Now,
I think we can both agree 300 was good.
That was fun. Yeah.
That was fun. It was good. The dark and grittiness totally worked. It made a lot of sense.
Gerard Butler looking back to his wife to get permission to kick the kid down to kick the guy down the hole. That was a great moment.
Right.
She was just like,
right. It was great move.
Do it.
Right. Yeah. Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 version. I remember enjoying that quite a bit.
I didn't see that, but yeah, I'll take your word for it.
And then a lot of the other things. Let's see. He did a Morrissey video. He did a Soul Asylum video.
Ugh.
He did a ZZ Top video. He did a Rod Stewart video. Another Morrissey video, and now we're into Dawn of the Dead. So he literally goes from like music videos to Dawn of the Dead to 300.
Right.
And then 3 years later he does Watchmen.
I think I remember that when 300 came out, they were like, he used to direct music videos. Now he's got a big feature. Blah 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 blah.
Right. And that is perfectly fine, because if I'm not mistaken, the guy who did Baby Driver was the same way.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine.
I think the story around the Snyder Cut is fascinating. Warner Brothers gave him a whole bunch of money to do it. He was like, that's cool, I'll do it for free. So he's working for free. A lot of the actors came back to film stuff for free, and I'm like, holy shit, they're really excited about this thing. And that part, like, I would watch a documentary about how this came together. I'm not sure I'm ready to sit down for 4 hours and watch the actual thing, but I would watch like something about the making of the thing.
Hang on a second here. Let's be clear. Nothing is free. I guarantee you, he's getting points on the back end somehow. Same thing with all the top tier actors.
Maybe from all the trade stories, they've been portraying it that like he's doing it. He traded creative control for a fee, so like he got to do what he wanted with the movie, with the filming. It's going to be in 4:3 aspect ratio instead of 16:9, because in the off chance that he gets to take it to theaters, he wants people to be able to see it in IMAX. So it's going to look square and boxy on your TV when you watch it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's an interesting story. It's an interesting story. I would watch the shit out of a documentary about it. Like if they shot footage, if they had a camera crew doing behind the scenes stuff as they were making it, I'm interested in that. I don't know if I like his version of the DC universe.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on this.
You don't want to sit there for 4 hours, Brandon?
I gotta be honest with you, Jamie. The 4 hour thing isn't the fucking bar for me. It's this like, it's giving into this mob mentality that this guy who can't seem to find a fucking proper lighting rig gets this fucking like. Affleck's Batman is my least favorite version of Batman.
Interesting.
And that's saying something, because I fucking love Frank Miller's Batman, and I guess technically they're supposed to be the same guy.
There are aspects of like his performance in Batman versus Superman that I liked his take on some of the stuff, but overall that movie did not work for me.
Right. Just I didn't watch that and went, boy howdy, I want more of that. Like, because it genuinely feels like, you know, the people who take shit way too seriously?
Yeah.
That's what Snyder feels like. And I gotta be honest with you. If you take superheroes that seriously, fucking avoid me. Like, genuinely. Like, there can be fun aspects. I love Ledger's Joker. I love the old school, like, Tim Burton Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that had a bit of seriousness, but also had a bit of comedy going on. And it really kind of towed that line there.
Yeah, the Keaton one had an edge to it.
Right, like, I'd say Nolan's Batmans are about as dark as I really want to get.
Mm-hmm.
This, like, weird, uncomfortable fucking, like, it feels like the same shithead guys who are still into Fight Club.
Oh yeah.
Are like who just kind of don't get it. This is the same sort of thing of how like I'm convinced this sort of attitude and liking this kind of shit is what gave us like Leto's Joker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want to fucking encourage that shit.
I am very surprised that this is happening, because like normally when there's a fan outcry or stuff, studios kind of ignore you. Like no one's ever recut a movie for the fans.
Fuck else are they gonna do? It's a pandemic.
And I guess that might be it.
If you think this is gonna happen in any other time period, you are out of your mind.
Yeah,
Studios sitting at home. They get a bunch of fans to fucking salivate. They get HBO to fucking sign on. They get Snyder to do the thing. Everyone's sitting around the studios like, wait, we don't have to really do anything?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Because, like, I guarantee you, they're looking at the Twitter numbers. But the problem is, if you let social media dictate what you do or whether or not something's good, we're going to end up with shit all the time. Well, the loudest voices are rarely the best.
The other problem is, I don't think they're getting new subscribers, because all of the people who wanted this DC stuff anyway, they're already subscribed to HBO. Is it Max or Plus or Streamy? HBO Streamy fuck Max. HBO Max. All the people who would have been inclined to see this are already subscribed to it. Anyone who's going to be going to the theater for this movie is already subscribed to HBO Max. So they're not getting they're not getting new people.
I bet they are getting new people. I bet genuinely when this happens, leading up to this, I bet the day this comes out or the night before, you will easily see 30 to 40,000 people sign up for HBO Max for a month. Because they can tear through that and then all of the other DC content that's on there. Because there's a ton of animated shit.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm going back and watching the original Teen Titans.
So good.
It's so good, right? So good. But like being able to watch all of that, being able to watch the cartoon from the early 2000s, the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, Unlimited is
super
great.
Good.
Oh my god,
super good. Yeah, like I'm super excited to be able to watching that with Nicole. Like she's never seen it, so like we watched all of the original Justice League cartoon. Now we're tearing through all of Teen Titans. Then we're gonna go watch Unlimited.
There's a There's a Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans, and
yes.
We bought it. We don't have HBO Max, but so we got that on Prime, and Hazel wants to watch that all the fucking time.
Because it's good.
It is so fucking funny, and it's so good. It's so good.
And I'm sure people will be mad at me. Teen Titans Go is a ton of fucking fun.
Yeah. No, I love that show.
I love it.
That show cracks me the fuck up. And the music, every time they put out a new track, it's a banger. It's fucking awesome.
Yep. Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
Anyway,
yeah. I'm convinced that there are a lot of fucking shithead neckbeard internet trolls who refuse to pay for this shit. And if they're not going to steal it off of HBO, they will sign up for it.
Yeah.
And they'll sign up for it for 1 month.
Yeah.
And then they'll cancel.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But then at least HBO gets demographic knowledge. They get lists of emails. They get names they can sell. They can do all that shit. They can figure out what markets are there. Like HBO learns a ton about their audience.
Yeah.
And they can then use that knowledge to start figuring out what other movies they're going to push, because they're doing Mortal Kombat showing up on HBO.
That one looks fun. That one looks fun as shit.
Godzilla vs. Kong's going to show up on HBO. Yeah. And I got to be honest with you, if I was not watching HBO, but I was curious about the Snyder thing, I got to be honest that I think the same people who are curious about the Snyder thing have a bit of a curiosity and nostalgia for Mortal Kombat. And if you're clever enough to have one month and one the next, I'd be willing to bet it quite a few people would forget to cancel that subscription. And once they already pay for that second month,
you're stuck.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right.
Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think anybody who is interested in the Snyder Cut got in early to watch Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, God. Oh.
Right. Yeah, trust me. I got excited initially for some of these movies where I'm like, cool, this is neat. And like, while I didn't really care for the new Wonder Woman, it was nice to be able to watch it when it came out. That was cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, Brandon.
Yeah.
Off of that tangent, the only thing we're going to be talking about today is the upcoming new administration. I feel like there were several campaigns early on in the session, in this cycle. There were some.
Realistically, there was only one other campaign running.
A possible candidate who kind of removed themselves from the running. For reasons. So now the current administration, there is going to be a swearing in at some point.
Yeah.
How did the proposal go down, Brandon Chalmers?
So, we're in a pandemic. So
yes.
I was trying to figure out what we were going to do. So we had a very State of the Union kind of conversation about everything that was going on. And we had made it very clear really early on, if I'm honest, that if we were going to get into a relationship, it was legit. Like, we had a very open conversation about whether or not we wanted to get married, whether or not we wanted to have kids, whether or not, you know, where we were with careers, what we wanted to do, what the ultimate goal was, where we wanted to live. Like, there was a genuine, like, real conversation because, you know, pull the curtain back. I'm 37 now. Like, if we're going to have kids, there's a real timeline there.
Yeah.
So, and I had a shit childhood. I'm not going to do that to my own kid. Like, I can't. So I need to make sure that I'm there. I need to make sure that I'm capable. I want to be able to, you know, when my kid fucking is like, oh, fuck yeah, let's go do the thing. Like, I feel like my world is lit up when I'm around my friends' kids. When I get a chance to hang out with Hazel, I have a great time every time. She's a freaking blast. Dan's kid, Miles, absolutely lights my world on fire. I love that kid.
He's adorable.
He's adorable, and he's fun, and he just makes me just so happy, and the kid clings to me. And like, I'd be lying if like that wasn't something that became a real yearning and part of why the last administration didn't work out. And there was a real conversation because her last relationship ended up having a bit of a conflict of interest to that, where they thought that was a thing that was going to happen, and it turns out that wasn't a thing that was necessarily going to happen.
Well, also, Homeboy was playing with other people's Gunpla, so, you know.
Yeah, I get that, but I am going to do my best to not.
I'll hold the grudge. Fuck it.
And that's fine. I'm
an expert at holding other people's grudges.
No, I get that, but I don't want to hold an airy word, because when everything went down, that dude was super fair and super chill, and has been so the entire time.
That's how motherfucker knew he was wrong, but go on.
And that's perfectly fine, but one of those, I don't want to say a nary word because I don't want anybody to go back to anybody or anything else like that. And just know that my view is, what's up? And that's where that's going to stay. Which is really nice to be able to say, because in my own camp, to the best of my understanding, it is not that friendly. So,
yeah, I'll hold a grudge. Fuck it. If you need, FYI, if any of y'all need a grudge holder, send it to me. I'll fucking hold that shit. I will mold it, and sharpen that into a nice semi fucking hard ass, forged in fire edge, motherfucker.
Yes. So we had a very State of the Union conversation. Now, okay, so I should pull the curtain back a bit. So I lost my job back in March of last year, the beginning of the pandemic.
Hooray.
Like a lot of people did.
Yeah.
We discussed this at length on multiple podcasts and what have you. And you can watch me basically have a slow breakdown if you decide to start watching the podcast.
Yeah.
From like a year ago, and then my issues with trying to get through and get unemployment payments and what have you. And I was very lucky not only to have you. Hang on, my laptop's dying. I want to be able to.
Oh, yeah. You can't podcast without any power.
Yeah, I know, right? All right. So the idea was that we had a very State of the Union kind of conversation, and her lease was ending at her place. What would this have been? June or May? Sorry, it was May. And basically the thought process was like, hey, not for nothing, but I have a place and I have a mortgage and it's way cheaper than where you're at. And we can, why don't we just kind of have a handshake agreement that like we work out a deal, you pay your fair share, and you're not on the hook for anything. I won't make you sign any paperwork or anything else like that. If for some reason you and I are in a bad spot, I will move down into my office until you find somewhere else to live. And your last month with me here is the last month you pay, and that'll just be what it is. Like, I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. I didn't want to make her feel trapped or anything else like that.
Yep.
I think, to be honest with you, I think had I proposed then, she'd have probably said yes. Like we were pretty in.
I kind of had that. I kind of had that feeling from the outside. Yeah.
Right. But it was one of those things where like everything was so soon, and it was like I don't want to push that issue, and we were both going through a lot.
For sure.
She helped keep me mentally right side up. I was never in a financial position where I needed to be held financially right side up, but we definitely helped each other through that whole thing. So we spent, a year essentially in a pandemic together.
Not
job changes.
Not every relationship has lasted that long. So.
Right. Like and that was kind of where my head was. It was like, if she can move in with me when I am going through depression and job loss, and I don't handle sitting still well at all.
Yeah. Plus getting COVID.
Yeah. Getting COVID, job changes for both of us. Like, her job kind of shifting and her kind of being forced into moving into a new job, and like just a lot of life change very, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I have told her this, but most nights when we'd fall asleep, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd wake up hours before her just because that's how I operate. And I'd ask her to marry me while she was asleep.
Nice.
Assuming that she'd just wake up one day and just say, and just
what?
Like,
Fuck
what
it.
the fuck? Yeah. Right, yeah. And like, I almost got caught easily like a half dozen times. Totally.
Sounds like you found your fire team, Brandon.
Yes. So we got relatively serious, probably sometime around Christmas. Maybe a little before, where she started asking about like we had a very like State of the Union kind of conversation, and I was like, look, not for nothing, we've kind of joked around about this. If we start to get serious, what kind of ring do you want?
Oh shit.
And well, yeah, because I'm not gonna. One, I don't want to find out that I fucked that up. Like, that's a real thing. Yeah. So I have a very direct conversation, and I'm like, what do you suggest? What do you like? What do you not like? What's the size you're looking for? Like, I don't want to fuck anything. What kind of stone do you like? Where's your thought process? Yada, yada, yada. So I take all of this information. She has a very tight-knit group of friends that she has had for some time that she calls her girl gang. And I basically like, I got all the information together. I sat on it for maybe like 3 days. And then I went to the girl gang and I was like, hey, so I would like your blessing to marry your friend. And they all said yes. And I was like, cool, now I need your help. And I basically threw everything in with them. And I was like, I need suggestions on what do you think works? What do you like? What do you not like? Where do you suggest going? So they helped me find a place. There's a jeweler out in California that we found that had a really nice setting. They work with a lab in Canada that produces stones in a lab.
Oh,
so the stone is ethically sourced.
Yeah, cool.
She was not asking for a diamond. I thought that if you're going to have a diamond setting that, you should probably go through with the diamond. So that was a personal choice on my end, but she kind of made it very clear that she didn't feel comfortable with the way diamonds are traditionally obtained.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hell yeah.
So I found them. They were able to put everything together. They ended up sending it to me, and I had to kind of keep everything in the down low because when we record these, she's upstairs and the walls aren't that thick. So I didn't even have a real opportunity to have a chit chat with you about any of it. So
yeah.
I really didn't tell anybody that I was going to do this. So I was trying to figure out when I was going to do it. And I'm talking with the girl gang and they're like, when do you think you're going to do it? Where do you think you're going to do it? And I'm like, I don't want it to be a big spectacle. I've done that. And I want it just to be us. We met at Art Fight.
Right.
We don't need to turn this into a big fucking show for everybody. So I was like, I'd like to do it either at the beach or in the mountains. I'd like to do a setting that is very tranquil and very nice and everything else like that.
Yeah.
I was like, I have this idea that I push that what I want for my birthday is for her and I to do a little getaway. We do a contact list sort of thing, like in an Airbnb. We, if we go to the beach, maybe we spend the day at Assateague, and we don't necessarily spend any time with anybody else, but we just spend a long walk on the beach and be able to just kind of BS and have a great time or what have you, and then stay at a place in Ocean City or something like that. Or we go to Luray, Virginia, and we go hike in Shenandoah, and we go up to the top of a mountain, and I just pop a question on top of one of the cliffs.
Nice.
And that's where we ended up landing. So we get this really nice thing. Now, I didn't know where specifically we were staying in the sense of what in relation to what else was there. I knew it was in downtown Luray, right off of Main Street. But turns out there's a place called the Mimslyn Inn that has been in Luray since the 30s. And it is a rather large, Art Deco style hotel that is designed as a wedding venue.
Nice.
And there are tiny homes that they set up as cabins behind the inn. And it turns out the one that we rented was the bridal cottage. So we pull up to the place and I was like, oh shit, it's a bridal cottage. She's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be nice. I'm like, she picked the place out. I came up with a couple ideas, a couple different places, and she was like,
yeah,
I'd like to do this. So she insists on covering the room and the whole nine, everything else like that. And she's like, we're gonna get away for your birthday and we're gonna go to the mountains. And I'm like, I want to go to the mountains. I want to eat some good food. I want to play some gator golf. I want to kick your ass at gator golf, and I'd like to go hiking. And then just kind of left at the last one by the way, I think I'm gonna propose then. So right.
I think I'm gonna put a ring on it.
Right. So we get in, the place is super nice. Jamie, I found an Italian place there that has the best garlic knots I've ever fucking had.
Did you bring it back home?
Life-changing. No, but I genuinely will drive the 2.5 hours for those garlic knots. Those are life-changing knots.
We need a barrel of them.
Jamie, I'll tie the knot with some knots. I'll go back there and have that. I might see if I can have them cater the wedding.
Oh,
just drive in.
It's a garlic wedding.
Drive it in. Yeah. So we order food from this place. It's super good. Play a bunch of gator golf first night. I got a hot tub there right in the facility with its own little private wall, so we get a chance to just get kind of trash drunk and hang out. Oh yeah. So we get up the next day, super hydrate, grab some snacks, go driving down to Shenandoah. And I'm like, okay, we're going to go out onto the Stony Man Trail. We're going to do this like 3.5-mile hike. And it's going to be a ton of fun. And there's like 3 different overlooks. And I'm like, we're going to go to the top. And it's going to be beautiful. It's a 4,000 foot high view. It overlooks the valley. It's fucking gorgeous. There are people fucking just everywhere. And don't get me wrong, that is perfectly fine in the sense that people are absolutely allowed to go out, have a great time, and social distant, and like everyone. Now, to be fair, I'd probably say 90% of the people on the trail, the second you get near anyone else, everyone masked up. Everyone was polite with each other.
Good.
Everyone made sure that no one felt uncomfortable.
Good.
Like it was a lot of like stepping off to the side and making sure everyone else comfortably walked by, and everyone was very polite, and like it was a perfectly nice experience on the trail. So like I can't really say anything other than like there was one shithead couple that was way too close and refused to wear a mask. I had to fucking stifle myself. It's like, don't pick a fight on the day you're going to propose. Don't pick a fight on the day you're going to propose. You're better than this. Don't do this. So we get to the first overlook. It's fucking crowded. Okay, let's get to the second overlook. Fucking packed. I'm like, cool. We're going to do the summit, right? Now she starts walking around, and I think because of either her boots were too tight or the elevation was getting to her, neither one of us had done a real hike like that in some time. Like, it's not a like end all be all hike, but when you do a 900 foot elevation over 3.5 miles, that shit wears you out.
Yeah, it does.
And like, so by the time we get near the peak, she is exhausted, hips are hurting, and her hands are swollen. And I'm like, I'm going to propose and she won't be able to put the ring on, and she's going to be fucking heartbroken because she won't be able to do the fucking picture at the top of the cliff holding the ring, doing the like,
yeah.
Hey! And she deserves to have that fucking moment.
Yeah.
So we get to the top and it's fucking packed.
Oh.
And we stand there for a bit, and she is hell-bent. What I learned is she was hell-bent on getting to the top because she thought I wanted to do it. She's like, it's your birthday, we're going to do this. And I'm like, hon, if you don't want to do it, like, I get it. We both had a long hike. Like, we can skip this part. And she's like, no, you want to do it.
We're doing it.
Right. So, like, she's convinced she's doing the thing that I want to do. And I'm going, this place is going to be packed. Your hand is fucking swollen. And I'm going to get all the way up there, and I'm not going to be able to propose, and I'm going to be fucking heartbroken. And I'm going to have to not sell it all the way back down to the car. So where I should have done it is we were literally like on a part of the trail. We were walking up to get near to where the summit was, and we take a break. We both sit down on a tree, and we're just kind of sitting there, and everything was fucking silent. And I reach into the bag to go get some water, and I paused a second and went to go reach into the backpack to go grab the ring. And then I heard somebody coming, and I was like, God damn it! Like, I want to have a moment with just her and I.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's all I'm really looking for.
Damn
like,
you people!
Hey, right, yeah, like, hey, this year's been kind of you and I kind of doing the thing. I'd like this moment to kind of be very similar.
Oh, hey, Steve.
Right. So I miss my opportunity, or more importantly, I choose not to strike. And we get back to the car, and she takes her boots off, and she's exhausted. And, we break out some celebratory gummy bears, and we're making our way back down the mountain.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, okay, there's a ton of overlooks. There's like 4 overlooks.
Yeah, sure. It's a big ass trail.
I'll find one of them.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, we'll find a nice spot to park. I'll be like, oh, I just need to stretch.
Bling.
We'll find a nice spot to park. Right, and I'll do it there. First overlook, fucking packed.
God damn it.
Second overlook, fucking packed.
God damn it.
Third overlook, fucking packed.
The fuck?
I'm like, God damn it. We're getting near the entrance.
Yeah.
We've now come down 2,000 feet off the mountain. Like, view's still nice, but it ain't that nice.
Right.
I get to the last overlook, and it's literally like a little pull-off, like right before you go into the little tunnel right at the Thornton Gap. And I was like, hey, I got a rock in my shoe or something like that. I need to stop. I want to get this thing out. I just need to stretch. She's like, oh, okay. So I get out. I've got the ring in my pocket. Like before I got in the car, I put the ring in my pocket, like kind of stuffed it off to the side to make sure that she didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I get out of the car very strategically of like, kind of got up and stood up and made sure she didn't see like the bulge of a ring box sticking out of my pocket.
Yeah.
So I stretch, I kick the shoes out or whatever it is. I walk over to her side of the car. She's like we're parked where her side of the car is at the edge of the mountain. So like she gets a chance to kind of overlook everything. And she is like on her phone, no fucking interest, like just kind of done. She's exhausted.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, can you come stretch me out? My back is killing me. She's like, yeah, sure. Hang on a second. She gets out of the car. She's stretching, what have you, yada, yada, yada. And I just decided to turn around and I pull it out of my pocket and I dropped to one knee and I had a whole speech and everything else like that. And I just started fucking crying.
Nice.
I broke down. Like I meant to do, and literally it was like I meant to do it up on the thing, and then there were all the people and just
too many people. I couldn't do it.
Right, and she's just like looking at me and she's welling up and everything, and I'm just like, I ask and she says yes, and she's fucking over the moon. I was like, I thought you knew, and she's like, I had no idea. Right, so like I got her, which is great.
Yeah, that's a great surprise.
Yeah, so like it was super nice, and we went back and, we got a chance to relax and we ended up doing the same fucking place for dinner a second night. I got 2 nights of garlic knots.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, son.
Yes.
Yes.
You got to prep with the garlic knots and you got to finish with the garlic knots.
Yeah. Did the chicken parm the first night and then did some shrimp scampi the next night. That place knows what they're doing with some butter and some garlic.
Shit.
God damn.
Shit.
Do they know what they're doing with some butter and
Shit.
some garlic. Yeah. Shit. So we just kind of like hang out and we, she's over the moon and we're joking around. And like, by the time, we get back and then we go take a nap, we wake up from the nap. It's like 6:30. We go get, order dinner, all that other stuff. Another round of Gator golf. By the way, I won 3 rounds first night. She won 3 rounds next night. So we are 1-1 on our travel Gator golf. If you are looking for a game to play with your significant other, friends, family, kids, what have you, on a travel thing, get yourself some Gator golf. Turn your room, your bags, your shoes, everything else like that into a makeshift course. Lay a towel out and turn it into a putting green and start talking shit because it gets intense with the quickness. But it was really nice because the next night or that night we sat out and we had drinks and we sat in the hot tub and we watched the stars. The night was super clear and daylight savings happened and we didn't get to bed till 4. Fuck. Yeah. Normally I get up for work at 4:40. So like I'm damn near at all-nighter territory.
Yeah.
And the next day we went to the Luray Zoo, which you should not do. The only thing I can say with any sort of confidence is the animals looked in very good health. But I got a chance to hear a ring-tailed lemur cry.
Oh no.
Like Free Willy kind of crying.
Oh no.
I got to see the single-handed saddest wallaby I've ever seen.
Boo.
And I got to see not 1, but 2 of the angriest water moccasins I have ever witnessed in my life. Because their enclosures in their reptile room, and again, all of the animals looked in excellent health. But all of the enclosures were way too small and way too starkly decorated. Like when you've got a seriously venomous, angry, aggressive fucking snake in a rather small container with like a water dish, some hard ass wood chips, and 1 warm light, all they're left to do is just sit and stew. And it was literally like, one of them was like the Eastern water moccasin, and one was like the Florida water moccasin. And the Florida water moccasin was easily twice the size in a cage that was maybe 1.5 times larger than the other one. So like they're both very undersized, and the two of them are equally staring at her and I, and staring at each other, and then staring back at us, and just fucking like, Jamie, I genuinely believe if you were to knock the wall down and let these snakes out, they'd kill everyone and not down, like, and just leave. No consuming of anything.
Yeah.
No children, no toys, no animals, no meat, no interest. They just want, they want blood and they want freedom. That's it.
Yeah. That's horrifying.
So, yeah, it was a lot of just very small enclosures. And I imagine 20 years ago, when this was just a rescue zoo, because it is a rescue zoo in all fairness.
Yeah.
When it was just a rescue zoo and they were very tight on budget and whatever it is, and we hadn't seen quite so nice enclosures, and maybe the bar was much lower. Probably when the photos of the owner and Steve Irwin together were actively taken.
Yeah.
It's probably a much nicer place.
Before Matt Damon bought
the
zoo.
Yeah, when we find ourselves in the year of our Lord 2021, and nothing has really been updated since 2002, and the guy who runs it is adamantly anti-mask. Like,
huzzah.
Yeah, like I feel very weird about that. Like, I'm glad in the sense that my donation went toward paying for some of their feed and care. Great.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, that may have been one of the saddest zoo experiences I've ever had.
What a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah. So that wasn't great. I didn't care for that much. I don't want to do that again. And I suggest that you don't do it either. It'll make you anywhere between sad and kind of mad. So it was a weird ending to our trip.
Yes.
It's like we didn't snag any photos when we were up there because we were like, we just want to do the hike, don't want to haul the camera, everything else like that.
Your tiny little baby camera? It weighs nothing.
Like, we just took our phones.
Oh, okay. Your camera weighs nothing, by the way.
I know it. I get it. I asked. I brought it with us on the trip. It sat in the hotel room when we went out onto the mountain. She was like, I think it was one of those, she was convinced this hike was going to be a lot more than she was ready for, than to have to fucking do the camera thing, which I totally get.
Yeah.
But like, we walked into the zoo, camera prepped, 2 lenses in hand, multiple batteries, fresh memory card, ready to do the thing. And we walked into the reptile room, and the camera went from in her hand to dangling at her side. And the second we walked from the reptile room to outside and she got a good look at everything, the camera went from at her side to kind of behind her back. And it never moved forward from that.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and like, we left and I was like, notice you didn't take any pictures. And she's like, uh-huh. Notice you didn't take any pictures either. And I was like, uh-huh. She's like, I'd like to get in the car. I was like, let's go do that. Let's go home. Let's go home.
I would like to go home now.
Right. But it was literally like, trust me, if we had the ability to go back to the little tiny house or whatever it is, I genuinely could live in that tiny house. It was super nice. Like,
that's awesome.
I also apparently, I'm a hot tub guy. I didn't know I need a hot tub now. Like,
they're dope.
2 days in a row of soaking myself in the hot water and everything else like that, game changer.
Yeah.
I'm tensing up already. Like, I miss it.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah.
Need it.
When we go out to San Diego Comic-Con, the friend that we stay with, they live in an apartment complex that has a pool and a hot tub. And
nice.
One day we fucked off of the con and just stayed in the hot tub, and the shit was so glorious.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. I really just want to travel to other places and just sit in hot tubs. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, we need to hit the con circuit again, And we need to only stay at places with hot tubs.
With hot tubs.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. With hot tubs and decent carryout. Like if we could go back to Chicago, hit up that fucking Thai place, and then hang out in a hot tub.
Yeah.
Yep.
Depending on how things work out, there may be more conventions in the future when they start opening up. So,
God willing,
there might be many more trips. Hopefully things work out.
Hopefully. But yeah, so I got engaged. So there's that. Yes.
It's a good way. It's a good way to end a year of bullshit.
Yeah, it felt like a very real man, we kind of went through it.
Yeah.
And
I'm
feeling good about where we are right now. And if everything totally falls apart, I know that she and I are moving toward a path together.
Yeah.
And that is really rad.
As a team. It's a team.
Yes, it is a team. And I am really glad to have a genuine partner.
Nice. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, I am over the moon and had a really great time, and I'm really, really excited. And the only thing I got to figure out now is what the fuck do I do for my birthday next year?
You'll actually get to see people next year.
I'll actually get to see people next time. Yeah, we're thinking about that. Fuck.
Hey, May. Even if we don't get it between now and May, technically we should all be eligible. I hope.
Maybe I'll get a bouncy castle.
I hope. But that's awesome. I feel like that's sort of like a story. Like your year in COVID, in the pandemic, has been sort of a story. It's been like you start off here. It's a hero's journey. Right. You lose your job. You go through all this shit. It goes down. Right. You get your job back, and you end up with a marriage at the end of it. Like you've you've done the Hobbit tale. You've been there and back again.
Yeah. I really wish that I could have just hopped on a fucking eagle, got engaged, and had a better job and skipped a lot of the bad shit.
Nah, but you needed to fight Gollum somewhere, you know.
God, no. Because you know what it is? Gollum is just depression in sweatpants. That's what Gollum is. It's not fun. It's not even exciting.
Yeah. But you couldn't have written a better end to all this bullshit. That's great. I mean, it's not over because you still go on. You still
obviously it's not over. But the idea of my calendar year, the last 12 months, knowing that basically, because essentially I lost my job. God, what would it be? What's today when we record this? The 16th. I would have lost it, I believe, on the 19th of last year.
Oof.
So I am basically actually, you know what? I think this is actually 1 year since we got Seuss, the dog.
Oh,
I think about it.
Nice.
I gotta double check and go back and look, but I swear, if I'm not mistaken, we got the dog this time last year. So,
nice.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We got ourselves a little buddy too. It's been a whole thing.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's fucking great.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I am very lucky and very happy and very appreciative of where I've ended up landing, and I genuinely wouldn't be here without the love and support of people like you. So thank you.
This deserves many cheesecakes. Cheesecakes and garlic nuts.
For listening to me bitch and complain the last calendar year. I appreciate the support and the kindness, and sometimes the lack of judgment. And sometimes the judgment, and that's perfectly fine. Just give me both. I'm good with all of this.
Hell yeah.
But
all right, we're done. No more podcasts. We're done. We have to end on a high note. No, I'm kidding.
We have to end on a high note. That's it. We're done.
No more shows. Up, kids. We're never doing this show again. It's too good. We ended too high.
That's it. We're all done.
Brandon, where can people find you and congratulate you?
You can find me on Instagram at @thatguychalmers.
Yay!
Yep.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right. You can find me on Instagram, Jamie Noguchi, YouTube here, Twitter stuff, places, things. I'm gonna play the end.